thank you so much for tuning into Culture Fix. I am joined by Australian pop icon Melissa Tkautz, whose career spanned music, TV, everything, Melissa. You've done it all. Melissa burst onto the music scene with her Aria Award winning debut single Read My Lips and the hit album Fresh, delivering unforgettable tracks like Sexy is the Word. Um, Alongside music, Melissa has been on our screens for a very long time with E Street, Real Housewives of Sydney, SAS Australia, and very kindly, Melissa has joined me to talk about her new single, Not Enough, featuring Seventh Heaven, which is a fantastic remix that you've just released. So thank you so much, Melissa, for taking the time.
What an introduction. Wow. Yeah, no problem at all. I'm very, very happy to be here, I have to say.
I mean, you've done it all, and you started obviously at 16 years old. Was it you started in modeling?
Oh no, I started in the industry when I was four, doing commercials and photo shoots. I was back then, all you'd ever see in magazines is the girl next door, the girl with the blonde hair and the blue eyes, unfortunately, but that was the case. So I got booked a lot because I was the girl next door with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. So, I started at a very, very young age, and then I moved on to TV in a show called Richmond Hill was my first sort of big thing. And I would have been about 14. But yeah, the main thing that people remember me for back then was definitely East Street, which was incredible.
Yeah, it's a real cult classic and real cult favorite in Australia, and even kind of it
Yeah.
never made it over to the UK in my kind of age, but I think it's really the legacy still lives on, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of love for that. But let
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a show like that.
yeah. Well, let's jump to present day first, and then we'll make our way back if that's okay. We need to talk about Not Enough,
Yeah.
which was such a nice
Yes.
surprise. This being released recently, how did that come about?
Well, Not Enough, believe it or not, was on a Hits and More album that I had out quite some time ago now. And we never really released it as a single. And then the incredible, Seventh Heaven, who has remixed everybody under the sun, Kylie, Cher, Pink, Ariana Grande. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They did this remix of Not Enough out of the blue. And we're like, hold on, that's amazing. Like, we just loved it so much. And Mardi Gras is coming up, and I've got a gig at Fair Day, which is going to be incredible, so much fun. And I just thought we should release this just for a bit of fun, just to get it out there. I am working on new music, but while I'm working on that, I just thought, releasing this for my fans would be amazing. And I've had incredible response. I mean, it's not that like, oh, we want it to go to number one or anything. I just wanted to put it out there, really. And we just love it so much. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
we did.
Well, I'm so glad you did because honestly, you mentioned obviously the icons that Seventh Heaven have worked with, and obviously we put yourself in that camp as well. So it must
Well,
be quite
I
an
don't know about
honor.
that. No,
Um,
it is. It's amazing.
and you mentioned new music there. Is there a kind of time frame for that? Maybe a new album? I know a lot of fans have been looking for a new album from you, or an EP or anything like that. Is there a kind of time frame you've got in mind?
Yeah. Well, this year would be nice, yes. I have got a few songs in the works that we're just fine tuning at the moment. It would definitely be an EP before an album, I would say, just to see how that goes. I do have another remix coming out on the 17th, no, on the 16th of February, actually, which is a song that I wrote. So it's very close to me. And Nick J and Jean-Luc remixed that, and that's called Lies, which I know a lot of my fans will know that song. And that remix is really, really great as well. But yeah, I'm definitely working on new, fresh music which I hope will be out in the next sort of at least 6 months anyway.
Amazing. Well, I'm really glad to hear it. We also need to talk about some of your other hits. Obviously, you covered the Glamorous Life, Sheila E. classic,
Yeah.
and it's a tough act to follow, but you did it really well. You took it and kind of gave it a nice dance spin. Um, how did
Thank
it feel
you.
taking on like a proper Prince produced classic?
Well, when it was someone, my manager at the time said, you should do the Glamorous Life. I said, the Glamorous Life, what are you talking about? Never heard of it. I've never heard of it, and I'm a massive Prince fan. And then I heard it and I said, oh my God, yes, I remember that song. And then I said, no, I can't touch that. That's like Sheila E. Are you crazy? I can't touch that. And then my producer at the time, who was producing my album, sort of put this beat together. And I just went, oh my God, actually, that's really good. But I was really worried people were going to get pissed off. You know how there's just some artist songs that you just don't touch? And I just thought that that would be one of them. But funny enough, it came up really well. Another song that I still perform on stage, that people love to hear. And I actually love to perform it. It's probably one of my favorite tracks of all time,
Yeah.
that mix of Glamorous Life.
Yeah, I think you definitely found something different in that song to kind of bring to fans. You can still love the original and love your version as well, which is nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um, Another hit we've got to mention is Easily Affected as well. I think it's a really underrated banger. And also like there's a little bit of a rock edge coming through there. And you mentioned earlier you were quite into like hip hop.
Yes.
Was that an intentional move?
Yeah. It was. I was trying, yeah, I was doing my very best to be hardcore. No, I was, it's like it sounded so much better with that rock edge, that particular track, and just the way they styled me and everything. But yeah, I agree with you. I really need to perform that one a little bit more. It's such a great song. I didn't write it. It was, you know, given to me, but when you listen to it, you think, "Wow, this is a really good song." So I think I really need to perform that. I think why I don't perform it as much is because it is more of a radio edit. No one's really done a club mix of it, and most of my gigs are in clubs. So I think that's why I don't get to perform it as much. But yeah, I'm really proud of Easily Affected. I thought it came out really well, and it got people really loved it.
Well, if Seventh Heaven are listening, get on it, guys.
Yes, it's everyone for listening. I'd love it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, be amazing.
We also need to chat about, obviously, Melissa, you are a bit of a gay icon and you really have
Yeah.
the music and obviously all your TV work has really connected with the LGBT community as well. Why do
Mm.
you think you've been embraced so wholeheartedly? What is it about the connection that strikes you?
I just think, yeah, look, the LGBTQIA community have always loved Australians here, especially they love the Aussie pop star. Um, they love the makeup and the hair and the passion and the performance, and it's just something that they do. And when they're out in their shows and express themselves and things like that, and I think that's why they've always embraced me as an artist, no matter what I've done, no matter how long it's taken me to put out music. I mean, they are the core of who my fans are to this day, 100%. I don't think I'd still be doing this. So I don't think I would still be here if it wasn't for them. I mean, really, they embraced me just like I can't tell you. Incredible. That's where the majority of my gigs come from still to this day. I mean, they have definitely kept my career going 100%, 100%.
Amazing. Well, you obviously mentioned Mardi Gras earlier, and performing at these sort of like Pride events. How is it? In the UK, we do have sort of Pride and things, but
Yeah.
not to the same level of how the Aussies do it.
Yeah. I just can't wait being in front of a crowd that are just loving you and loving the music and dancing along and having fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to go and perform, there? and just how expressive, they are, and how free they are, and they don't care what other people think about them, and nor should they. And it's their special day. I absolutely cannot wait to be there amongst it all and amongst them and their community, and it's going to be so much fun. We're in the middle of, getting the wardrobe and doing all these kind of things. I just want to put on a really great show for them.
Amazing. And I'm sure you will. Um, can I ask, I don't want to bring back any trauma, but I would really love to ask a little bit about
Ooh,
Real Housewives of Sydney because you know,
I didn't know what you were going to say then.
well, like
Look,
watching that
the
show
housewife.
back, it's mad. It's so insane.
Yeah. Looking back on it now, I think mentally I wasn't ready to take on the task. I think I'm a very shy, introverted person, which people don't know that about me. And I like to think of myself as I have very good morals and I'm a good person. And I just think that show was trying to bring out things in me that I just don't have. You know, yes, I love a laugh. Yes, I can be a bit crazy, things like that. But any kind of bitchiness or stuff like that, I just scare away from that. And unfortunately, that's the show that requires that kind of thing. So, was I the quiet lamb in the corner? Yes, guilty. I did enjoy filming it because it was so different to anything that I'd ever done before. And I enjoyed, most of the girls. But I just think I wish I was in a different place mentally when I filmed that first season, um, because I think I would have enjoyed the experience a lot more. And I enjoyed the experience so much more after the filming stopped, where I got to go out and mingle with the fans, go to all these wonderful parties and things like that. That was so much fun. Promoting the show was a lot of fun. And it's not that I didn't enjoy the experience. It was just very daunting for me because I knew at the end of the day, the producers wanted goss, they wanted conflict, they wanted all these things, and they're all the things that I shy away from, kind of thing. So I think that was the only problem. But other than that, like it wasn't actually a bad experience. I found 80% of it quite enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, I think you actually did so well in that show because rewatching it recently, there's so many
Mm.
moments where you kind of catch your face and you're just kind of aghast at what's going on, and you are kind of showing what the audience are feeling in that moment. So I think you're a really
Yes.
good presence in that to kind of keep
Level
things
it all out.
normal. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I was definitely chosen, I think, for that reason, because they knew, I mean, there's so many things you fill out before you go onto a show like this. They know your personality inside out. I think they knew that I'm not going to be the one who's going to bring the conflict. Am I going to bring the really bad poker face? Yes. Am I going to see and say things for what it is and how ridiculous it is? Yes. So, yeah, I guess it did work out for me in the end. Um, and yeah, it was a shame. Like, people often ask me, why didn't you do the next series? And I was so grateful that I was asked to do the first one, and I did, like I said, enjoy that experience. But going into it again, knowing what they wanted, I just didn't know at that time whether it was right for me. I would never say never. I'm never going to do it again or anything, but I just at that particular time in my life just wasn't right.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of strength to say, actually, you know what? Like, I'm stepping back
Yeah,
actually. So yeah, as much as
yeah.
I'd love to see you back, but you can totally understand your reasons.
Yeah, it's a full-on show. It's a full-on show. You're really putting yourself out there. But you're putting yourself out there, and then when they're trying to, they can't make you do things. Well, they couldn't make me do things because I've been in the industry for so long. I was very privy to what they were trying to do, and they need drama, right? They need drama. Otherwise, what are we watching it for? People don't want to watch, fancy dressed women with makeup on and their hair done to the nines going to have lunch. That's not exciting. They want that drama. So
They want
yeah, I
cleats
guess
being
I
thrown
guess
off
it just
boats.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, right.
Well, another show that you obviously took part in recently, SAS Australia, and if we're talking about
Oh,
real mental struggles, that show is so full
yeah,
on. How was that experience
yeah.
for you? Because it looks pretty tough.
Oh, can I tell you, when I did that show, we were going through lockdown and COVID. So when that show came up, they had asked me to do the first season. I said, "Hell no, me? Are you crazy? No, I'm not adventurous by any stretch of the means. I'm not the person that bungee jumps and does all those things. I'm just not that person." So um, when they asked me to do it the next time, I said, "Oh my God, I've got to get out of this house for a bit. Yeah, let's just go and do it." And then when I actually got there, I thought, what the hell am I doing here? This is insane. Why am I doing this? And it turned out to be the most rewarding thing I've ever done because it was so out of my comfort zone. And I've never been so scared in my entire life. The night before we went in to camp, I had a complete anxiety attack. The producers had to come into my room and I said, "I don't know whether I can do this. This isn't me. I'm really sorry. I don't want to waste anyone's time." And the other thing is, I was definitely there for all the right reasons, which I made very clear to them. So anyway, they got me on the boat. And then when I got there, something just switched over in me. And I said, "You know what? They all want me to fall in a heap now." And they knew I was going to be the first one to go or the second one to go. And I just was like, no, I'm going to spend the night in this camp, whatever it takes, whatever they throw at me, however scared I am going to spend at least one night here. This is for myself.
Yeah.
And when that plane situation came where I had to go underwater, I'm claustrophobic. I hate the water, and especially being underwater and stuff. That whole thing was the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And the fact that I did that, I can't tell you how rewarding that was. It was amazing. And Ant came up to me and he looked me straight in the eyes. He said, everybody everybody here thinks you're going to quit after being 5 minutes on this beach. He said, "You've got to prove them wrong." And then he set me on fire, literally. So, you know, I know I was only there, well, what you saw looked like a very short time. I was there for actually 48 hours. Yay! And I was so proud of myself because it was so out of my comfort zone. Like, and I was so terrified the whole time. But the fact that I got through what I got through was amazing.
Yeah, and it's not normal to be put through these situations to come through the end of that and actually like feel rewarded and feel you've kind of
Yeah.
grown. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. It
Uh,
really was. I was so proud of myself.
so what's next in terms of TV? Have you got any kind of projects that you're working on or you're able to tell us about?
There are a few projects that potentially could be coming up, but it's very early days now, so I couldn't really speak about them. It has been a real lull since COVID, I have to say, and things are starting to pick up again. So I am really looking forward to what will happen this year. But there is one show that's sort of brewing, maybe. So yeah, we'll just see. But yeah, I
Nice.
really want to get some more music out and keep gigging and things like that. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere just yet.
Amazing. Well, please don't. Well, Melissa, I know you've given up a lot of your time, so let's just wrap up with like a nice little quick fire round. The first answer that pops into your head, if that's okay. Nothing too complex.
Okay.
Okay, favorite movie.
Yep. Great.
Favorite movie.
Oh, The Departed. The
Nice.
Departed.
What is your favorite Aussie expression or phrase?
Um, G'day, mate.
Nice. The last song you listened to.
The last song I listened to. Oh, oh, oh. Do you believe in love?
Oh, nice. Who is your all-time favorite singer?
I have to say Barbara Streisand.
Nice. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is people not loving me. I think people not, yeah, who don't like me.
Well, you know what? Get rid of them. Um, where is your favorite place to travel?
My favorite place to travel, oh, that's a really tough one. Well, before it was really scary to travel there, I used to love going to Mexico. And then it got really dangerous to travel there. So I'd have to say, yeah, probably Mexico.
Nice. Well, Melissa, thank you so much. It's so appreciated that you've given up your time, and I really hope people stream Not Enough and get on board when the new song
Thank
when that's
you.
released.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'd love to know what people think of Lies as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed everyone loves it. And yeah, thank you so much for your support and your amazing kind words. I appreciate it.